संसारदाव नललीढलोका त्राणाय कारुण्य गणगणात्वम् प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणनवास्य वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् महाप्रभो की धन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना रोमाञ्चकम्पा श्रुतरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहारा धननित्यनाना शृङ्गारतान्मान्दिरमर्जनादो युक्तस्य भक्तां शनियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् चतुर्वेदा श्री भगवत्प्रसादा स्वादानतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गान् कृतैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् श्रीराधे कामा तव योरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नाम् प्रतीक्षणा स्वतनलोलुपास्य वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् निकुञ्जयूनो रतिकेलिहित्यै ययालिभियुक्ते अपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदाक्षा अतिवल्लभास्य वन्दे गुरु श्री चरणारविन्दम् साक्षादरितवेन्द समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा व्यत एव साध्भिः किन्तु प्रभूया प्रियवतास्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायान्स्तुवंस्तस्य यशस्ति सन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरा भक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
चल बेटा
Put the feather.
No, that's okay. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियोलुकालादवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तो धृतगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रायुग्मं निजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेकाङ्ककान्ता स्थिताग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिताग्निषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतवृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं व्रणेऽहं वरेशदपीह इदं ते वपुर्नाथा गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्या वीरास्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुकाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुण्डलैः स्निग्धा नमो देवदामोदरानन्तविष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिविष्ट्यातिदीनं बतानु गृहानेशमग्नं मेद्याक्षिदृश्या कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वाकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने सुरादीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय ता विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव राधे जयो जगन्नाथा जयो बलदेवा जयो सुभद्रमा जयो सुदर्शना जयो सीताराम जयो सीताराम जयो सीताराम जयो लक्ष्मण हनुमान जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय जयो प्रभुपादा जयो प्रभुपादा जयो प्रभुपादा जयो प्रभुपादा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
Jai Om Shnupada Pramhamsa Prataka Acharya Shtota Shata Shishima His Divine Grace Abharachana Rinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON PPT PI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Shnupada Pramhamsa Prataka Acharya Shtota Shata Shishima His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Nam Acharya Srila Haridasa Thakur Ki Jai प्रेमी से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री व्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री अयोध्या धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। समावृत भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री दामोदर मास कार्तिक मास की जय। श्री यशोदा दामोदर की जय। श्री श्री राधा दामोदर की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glory to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Pela dela dadaine. Hiranya Kashi Purvasaha. Silatanka nakhalaye. Ito Narsimha parato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha Hirade Narsimha. Narasimha Madim Sharanam Parpade. Narasimha Madim Sharanam Parpade. Tava kara kamalavare nakam adbhuta shingha. Dalita hiranyakashipur tanu bringa. Keshavadhirta narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. केशवधीरता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे. जय जगदीश हरे. जय जगदीश हरे. जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंहा. जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंहा. लक्ष्मी नरसिंहा. जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंहा. Jayo Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, Jayo Bhakta Prahlad. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev. श्री नरसिम्हदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, गौर प्रमानंदे।
Let's read the translation together. To the Supreme Lord, whose form embodies eternity, knowledge, and bliss, who theories swing to and fro, who shine beautifully in Gokula, who quickly ran from the grinding mountain in fear Madhushoda, who was caught by her, who ran faster than he, to that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's waiting stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful, and his quick breathing shook the stranded pearls on his neck, which bore 3 lights like those of a conch shell. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound with ropes his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. With these super excellent childhood pastimes, Lord Krishna drowned the residents of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. In this way, he declared to those absorbing knowledge his majesty and opulence. I am conquered only by my pure loving devotees. With great love, I again offer my obeisances, Lord Damodar, hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, though you can award all kinds of benedictions, I pray to you neither for the boon in personal liberation, nor for the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor for any other such boon. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what use do I have for any other boon besides this? O Lord, again and again Mother Yashoda kisses your lotus face, which is framed by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, and beautified by lips colored red like a bimba fruit. May this vision of lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands other benedictions of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, please upon me. Shower me with your merciful glances and deliver this poor ignorant fool immersed in an ocean worthy sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, as a baby tied to a grinding mountain, you deliver Surya's 2 sons from the curse of Narada and made them into great devotees. In the same way, please give me pure loving devotion for you. I long for this alone and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, obeisance unto the brilliantly fortunate robe binding your belly. Obeisance unto your belly, the abode of the entire universe. Obeisance unto your dear most beloved Srimati Radharani, and obeisance unto you, Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Vrindaya Tulasi Devya Piyaya Kesha Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadaya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devya Piyaya Kesha Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadaya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devya Piyaya Kesha Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi
Krishna Priyasi Namo Namaha. हे तमारो शरण लोय तारा वंच पूर्ण होय. कृपा कोरी करो तारे वृंदावन वासी. मोरा ये अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास. नयन हेरी बो सदा जुगल रूप राशि. हेई निवेदन धारो सखी अनुगाथ करो. सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी. मीना कृष्ण दासे कोई ऐजे न मोरा होय. मीना कृष्ण दासे कोई ऐजे न मोरा होय. श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम में सदाई नवासी. श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम में सदाई नवासी. श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम में सदाई नवासी. यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति मदक्षिणा पदे पदे. यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति मदक्षिणा पदे पदे. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani. Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi. Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol. वंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow down before you again and again. My desire to obtain the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has wish fulfilled. Bestow mercy upon him and make him a resident of Vrindavana. My desire also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shiva and Vrindavana Dham. Thus within my vision shall behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow a Karha dancer of Vraja. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen, lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulasi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy names that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuant to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda the fruity activities, Karma, Ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in your understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee claims a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as trees who can fulfill to everyone, and they full compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamahadavakni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purunarmita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Davakripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Yahajani Nanuragaha Trinatapi Sunicena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jamanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tvai Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Puda Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Turi Satyesham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashuru Taraya Vadanam Gadgada Rudaya Gira Pulakai Nichitam Vapurkata Tavanama Grahane Bhavishati Yuga Itam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravisha Itam Shunya Itam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Vidahena Me Ashirishava Padaratam Pinnastumam Adarsanam Marmahatam Karotuva Yatha Tatha Va Vidathatu Lampato Mat Prana Nathastu Se Eva Na Paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life for repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases ocean transcendent bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction human beings. Thus we have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, they have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, our kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sahamaraj Nanda Krishna, I'm an eternal servitor, yet somehow I follow the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at one Adam's lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constant when I chant the holy name, while my voice choke up, or the hairs of my body stand at the recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm constant moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Shri Mangala Aarti prayers Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachadate Shatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Shri Varshabhani Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Mutaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruta Pasithanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Mutaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Bhava Bhumistvam Nitishta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Savapama Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatirubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Srator Pangor Mamamanda Mater Gati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Matana Mohano Divya Divindaranya Kalpajumata Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shimadratha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha Karshan Vinu Staner Gopir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishvali Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangalachana prayers ki jai Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadirade Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukha Parviksha Laksha Riteshu Surabi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahma Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kavanantam Aravinda Dalayataksam Parharatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chantakala Savanamade Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanga Lalitam Yata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimmay Satujala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durabam Adurabam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Munipangavaanam Sopi Asti Yapapata Simya Vijinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Sara Chayitum Jagatanta Kotim Ya Chakti Rasti Jagatanta Chayaya Tantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Pushaha Suktaryam Eva Nikama Patitai Stuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chimme Rasa Patibhavitapi Tape Evan Jarupataya Kalapihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Kilatma Bhutto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalanyamena Tishtan Nanavataram Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Paramapumam Yo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pachami. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desires. In abode we built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with a great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jewel ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Syamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of most dazzling splendor. Each of limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, and he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor of thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe, at one and at the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidantes, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of a bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Syamasundara, Krishna himself with the inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotee sees in their hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrisimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portions. Sri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 Purport. Srinvatam swakata Krishna punyasravana kirtanaha hridayanta hiso hi abhadrani vidnoti suhrutsatam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta eter anavidam sitam satve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथिश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसमस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे.
to hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita, it is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, act as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more and more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lusts averse are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of the pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. The Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of asamshayam samagraham, understanding of supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotees in Krishna consciousness can understand the science of Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 20. Evam etantam vijane gocharo giram gambhiras lakshnaye vacha sucha prasamsayaman iva. Evam, thus, yatantam, one who is engaged in attempting, vijane, in that lonely place, mam, unto me, aha, said, agochara, beyond the range of physical sound, giram, utterances, gambhira, grave, slakshanaya, pleasing to hear, vacha, words, sucha, grief, prasamsayan, mitigating, iva, like. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all mundane description, spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words just to mitigate my grief. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Vedas, it is said that God is beyond the approach of mundane words and intelligence, and yet by His causeless mercy, one can have suitable senses to hear Him or to speak to Him. This is the Lord's inconceivable energy. One upon whom His mercy is bestowed can hear Him. The Lord was much pleased with Narada Muni, and therefore the necessary strength was invested in him, so that he could hear the Lord. It is not, however, possible for others to perceive directly the touch of the Lord during the probationary stage of regulative devotional service. It was a special gift for Narada. When he heard the pleasing words of the Narada of the Lord, the feelings of separation were to some extent mitigated. A devotee in love with God feels always the pangs of separation and is therefore always enwrapped in transcendental ecstasy.
Hastamin janmani bhavan mam drashtum iharhati avipakva kasayanam durdasoham kuyoginam. Hanta, O Narada, asmin, this, janmami, duration of life, bhavan, yourself, ma, not, mam, me, drastum, to see, iha, here, arhati, deserve, avipakva, immature, kasayanam, material dirt, durdasa, difficult to be seen, aham, I, kuyoginam, incomplete in service. Translation. O Narada, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. Purport. The personality of Godhead is described in the Bhagavad Gita as the most pure, the supreme, and the absolute truth. There is no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person, and thus who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. The beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. The result is exhibited by the signs of being freed from kama and lobha. That is to say, one must be freed from the desires for sense satisfaction, and avarice for sense gratification. The balanced mode of nature is goodness, and to be completely freed from all material tinges is to become free from the mode of goodness also. To search the audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. One can go out into the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but that does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely freed from all material attachment and be situated on the plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of Godhead. The best method is that one should live at a place where the transcendental form of Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place, whereas the forest is a materially good habitation. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord, rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the process of archana, which is better than going out in the forest. In his present life, which is completely freed from all material hankerings, Sri Narada Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into a Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert men, gods, kinnaras, gandharvas, rishis, munis, and all others to become devotees of the Lord. By his activities, he had engaged many devotees like Prahlad Maharaja, Dhruva Maharaja, and many other in the transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord therefore follows in the footsteps of the great devotees like Narada and Prahlada and engages his whole time in glorifying the Lord by the process of Kirtana. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.6.22 Sakrudyad darshitam rupam yetat kamayate anaga madkama shanakai sadhu sarvan munchati hruchayan. Sakrit, once only, yet, that, darshitam, shown, rupam, form, etat, this is, kamaya, for hankerings, te, your, anaga, O virtuous one, mat, mine, kama, desire, senakai, by increasing, sadhu, devotee, sarvan, all, munchati, gives away, hritsayan, material desires. Translation. O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me, because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A living being cannot be vacant of desires. He is not a dead stone. He must be working, thinking, feeling, and willing. But when he thinks, feels, and wills materially, he becomes entangled. And conversely, when he thinks, feels, and wills for the service of the Lord, he becomes gradually freed from all entanglement. The more a person is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the more he acquires a hankering for it. That is the transcendental nature of godly service. Material service has a satiation, whereas spiritual service of the Lord has neither satiation nor end. One can go on increasing his hankerings for the loving transcendental service of the Lord, and yet he will not find satiation or end. By intense service of the Lord, one can experience the presence of the Lord transcendentally. Therefore, seeing the Lord means being engaged in His service, because His service and His person are identical. The sincere devotee should go on with sincere service of the Lord. The Lord will give proper direction as to how and where it has to be done. There was no material desire in Narada, and yet, just to increase his intense desire for the Lord, he was so advised.
सत् सत्सेवया दीर्घायपि जातमायि धृतमति हित्वा वाद्यम् इमं लोकं माजन्नातम् आशी.
Sat Sevaya, by service of the absolute truth. Adirgaya, for some days. Api, even. Jyata, having attained. Mayi, unto me. Drida, form. Mati, intelligence. Hitva, having given up. Avadyam, deplorable. Imam, this. Lokam, material worlds. Ganta, going to. Mat Janatam, my associates. Asi, become.
Translation. By service of the Absolute Truth, even if for a few days, a devotee by service of the Absolute Truth, even for a few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Serving the Absolute Truth means rendering service unto the absolute Personality of Godhead under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, who is a transparent via medium between the Lord and the neophyte devotee. The neophyte devotee has no ability to approach the absolute Personality of Godhead by the strength of his present imperfect material senses, and therefore, under the direction of the spiritual master, he is trained in transcendental service of the Lord. And by such training, even for some days, the neophyte devotee gets intelligence in such transcendental service, which leads him ultimately to get free from perpetual inhabitation in the material worlds, and to be promoted to the transcendental world to become one of the liberated associates of the Lord in the kingdom of God.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 24. Matir mayi nibaddayam na vipadyeta karhichit praja sarga nirodepi smritischa mad anugrahat. Matihi, intelligence, mai, devoted to me, nibaddha, engaged, yam, this, na, never, vipadyeta, separate, karhichit, at any time, praja, living beings, sarga, at the time of creation, nirode, also at the time of annihilation, api, even, smritihi, remembrance, cha, and mat, mind, anugrahat, by the memory of. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Devotional service rendered to the Personality of Godhead never goes in vain. Since the Personality of Godhead is eternal, intelligence applied to His service or anything done in His relation is also permanent. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that such transcendental service rendered unto the Personality of Godhead accumulates birth after birth, and when the devotee is fully matured, the total service counted together makes him eligible to enter into the association of the Personality of Godhead. Such accumulation of God's service is never vanquished, but increases it till fully matured.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 25. Etavad uktvo pararama tanmahad bhutam nabholingam aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyase Srisnavana mam vidadhe nukampita etavad, thus uktva, spoken, Uparama, stopped. Tat, that. Mahat, great. Bhutam, wonderful. Nabhalingam, personified by sound. Alingam, unseen by the eyes. Ishwaram, the supreme authority. Aham, I. Cha, also. Tasmai, unto him. Mahatam, the great. Mahyase, unto the glorified. Shrishna, by the head. Avanamam, obeisances. Vidadhe, executed. Anukampita, being favored by him. Translation.
Then that supreme authority personified by sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stopped speaking, feeling, and sense of gratitude. I offer my obeisances unto him, bowing my head.
Purport. That the personality of Godhead was not seen but only heard does not make any difference. The personality of Godhead produced the four Vedas by his breathing, and he is seen and realized through the transcendental sound of the Vedas. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita is the sound representation of the Lord, and there is no difference in identity. The conclusion is that the Lord can be seen and heard by persistent chanting of the transcendental sound.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.6.26 Namani antasya hatatruptapatan guhyani bhadrani kritani chasmaran gam paryatam tushta managataspruha kalam pratikshan vimado vimatsaraha. Namani, the holy name, fame, etc. Anantasya, of the unlimited. Hatatrapa, being freed from all formalities of the material world. Patan, by recitation, repeated reading, etc. Guhyani, mysterious. Badrani, all benedictory. Kritani, activities. Cha and Smaran, constantly remembering. Gam, on the earth. Paryatan, traveling all through. Tustamana, manah, completely freed, fully satisfied. Gataspruha, completely freed from all material desires. Kalam, time. Pratikshan, awaiting. Vimadaha, without being proud. Vimatsaraha, without being envious. Translation.
Read.
Yeah.
Thus I began chanting the holy name of and the fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world, such chanting of remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humbly, and unenvious.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narada Muni by his personal example. Such a devotee, after his initiation by the Lord or his bona fide representative, takes very seriously chanting of the glories of the Lord and traveling all over the world so that others may also hear the glories of the Lord. Such devotees have no desire for material gain. they are conducted by one single desire to go back to Godhead. This awaits them in due course on quitting the material body. Because they have the highest aim of life, going back to Godhead, they are never envious of anyone, nor are they proud of being eligible to go back to Godhead. Their only business is to chant and remember the holy name, fame and pastimes of the Lord, and according to personal capacity to distribute the message for others' welfare without motive of material gain.
एवं कृष्णमतर्ब्रह्मन् न शक्ता स्यामलात्मना कालप्रदुरभूत् काले तदित्सौदं मनीयत. Krishna.
Krishna Mate, one who is fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna. Brahman, O Vasudeva, no, not. Asaktasya, of one who is attached. Amala Atmana, of one who is completely free from all material dirt. Kala, death. Pradur Rabot, become visible. Kale, in the course of time. Tadit, lightning. Saudamani, illuminating. Yatha, as it is.
Translation. And so on, O Brahmana Vyasadeva, in due course of time, I, who was fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna, and who therefore had no attachments, being completely freed from all material taints, met me with death, as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. To be fully absorbed in the thought of Krishna means the clearance of material dirts or hankerings. As a very rich man has no hankerings for small pretty things, so also a devotee of Lord Krishna who is guaranteed to pass to the kingdom of God, where life is eternal, fully cognizant and blissful, naturally has no hankerings for pretty material things, which are like dolls or shadows and of the reality, and are without permanent value. That is the sign of spiritually enriched persons. And in due course of time, when a pure devotee is completely prepared, all of a sudden the change of body occurs, which is commonly called lightning and illumination, which is commonly called death. And for the pure devotee, such a change takes place like lightning and illumination simultaneously. That is to say, a devotee simultaneously his material body changes his material body and develops a spiritual body by the will of the Supreme. Even before death, a pure devotee has no material affection, due to his body's being spiritualized like a red-hot iron in contact with fire.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 28. Prayujyamani mayitam sudham bhagavatim tanum arabdha karma nirvano nyapatat pancha bhautika. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Synonyms. Prayujmani, having been awarded, Mai, on me, Tam, that, Sudham, transcendental, Bhagavatim, fit for associating with the personality of Godhead, Tanum, body, or of the acquired karma fruitive work. Nirvana prohibitive, Nyapatat quit, Panchabautika body made of it, five material elements. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Having been awarded a transcendental body befitting an associate of the personality of Godhead, I quit the body made of five material elements. Thus all acquired fruitive results of work karma stopped. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Informed by the personality of Godhead that he would be awarded a transcendental body befitting the Lord's association, Narada got his spiritual body as soon as he quitted his material body. This transcendental body is free from material affinity and invested with three primary transcendental qualities, namely eternity, freedom, and material modes. Freedom from material modes and freedom from reactions of fruitive activities. The material body is always afflicted with lack of these three qualities. A devotee's body becomes at once surcharged with the transcendental qualities as soon as he is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. It acts like the magnetic influence of a touchstone upon iron. The influence of transcendental devotional service is like that. Therefore, change of the body means stoppage of the reaction of three quality modes of material nature upon the pure devotee. There are many instances of this in the revealed scriptures. Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj and many other devotees were able to see the personality of Godhead face to face, apparent in the same body. This means that the quality of a devotee's body changes from material to transcendence. That is the opinion of the authorized Goswamis via the authentic scriptures. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that beginning from the Indra Gopa germ up to the great Indra, king of heaven, of all living beings are subjected to the law of karma and are bound to suffer and enjoy the fruitive results of their own work. Only the devotee is exempt from such reactions by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Authority, the Personality of Godhead.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 29. Kalpanta idam adaya sayane mabhasya udanvata sisayisur anupranam vivisentar aham vibho kalpante at the end of Brahma's day, idam this, adaya taking together, sayane having gone to lie down, ambhasi in the causal water, udanvata devastation, sisaiso lying of the personality of Godhead, anupranam breathing, vivi say entered into, anta within, aham I, vibho of Lord Brahma. Translation.
At the end of the millennium, when the personality of God and Lord Arya lay down within the water in the devotion, the Brahma began to enter into him along with all creative elements, and I also entered through his breathing.
Purport. Narada is known as the son of Brahma, as Lord Krishna is known as the son of Vasudeva. The personality of Godhead and his liberated devotees like Narada appear in the material world by the same process. As it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, the birth and activities of the Lord. Therefore, according to authorized opinion, the birth of Narada as the son of Brahma is also a transcendental pastime. His appearance and disappearance are practically on the same level as that of the Lord. The Lord and his devotees are therefore simultaneously one and different as spiritual entities. They belong to the same category of transcendence.
My turn.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.6.30 Sahasrayuga paryante utta edam sisrikshataha marichi mishra harshiyaha pranebhyo aham cha jagnire. Sahasra 1000 yuga 4,300,000 years. Paryante at the end of the duration. Uttaya, having expired. Idam, this. Sisrikshataha, desired to create again. Marichi, Mishra, rishis like Marichi. Rishya, all the rishis. Pranibhya, out of his senses. Aham, I. Cha, also. Jagnire, appeared. Translation.
After
4 billion, 300 million
300 million thousand
years.
solar years, when Brahma awoke to create again by the will of the Lord, and all the rishis like Marichi and Mangala Aarti and so on were created form of the transcendental body of the Lord, and I also appeared along with them.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The duration of a day in the life of Brahma is 4,320,000,000 solar years. This is stated also in the Bhagavad Gita. So, for this period, Brahmaji rests in Yoga Nidra within the body of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, the generator of Brahma. Thus, after the sleeping period of Brahma, when there is again creation by the will of the Lord, through the agency of Brahma, all the great rishis again appear from different parts of the transcendental body, and Narada also appears. This means that Narada appears in the same transcendental body, just as a man awakes from sleep in the same body. Sri Narada is eternally free to move in all parts of the transcendental and material creations of the Almighty. He appears and disappears in his own transcendental body, which is without distinction of body and soul, unlike conditioned beings. Avi, your turn.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6. Text 31. Antarbahishcha lokams trin paremi askandita vrata anugrahan mahavishnor avegata gati kvachit anta in the transcendental world, Bahi in the material world, Cha and Lokan planets, Trin three divisions, Pariyemi travel, Askandita unbroken, Vrata vow, Anugraha by the cause of mercy. Mahavishnu of the Mahavishnu, Karo no da Vishnu, Avigata without restriction, Gati entrance, Vachit at any time. Translation. Since then, by the grace of the Almighty Vishnu, I travel everywhere without restriction, both in the transcendental world and in the three divisions of the material world. This is because I am fixed in unbroken devotional service of the Lord. Purport. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, there are three divisions of the material spheres, namely the Urdhva Loka, topmost planets, Madhya Loka, midway planets, and Adoloka, downward planets. Beyond the Urdhva Loka planets, that is to say, above the Brahmaloka, or the material coverings of the universes, and above that is the spiritual sky, which is unlimited. Brahmaloka are the material coverings of the universe, in that which is unlimited in expansion, containing unlimited self-illuminated Vaikuntha planets inhabited by God Himself along with His associates, who are eternally liberated living entities. Sri Narada Muni could enter all these planets in both the material and spiritual spheres without restriction. As much as the Almighty Lord is free to move personally in any part of His creation, in the material world, the living beings are influenced by the three material modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. But Sri Narada Muni is transcendental to all these material modes, and thus he can travel everywhere unrestricted. He is a liberated spaceman. The causeless mercy of Lord Vishnu is unparalleled, and such mercy is perceived by the devotees only by the grace of the Lord. Therefore, the devotees never fall down, but the materialists, i.e., the fruitive workers and the speculative philosophers, do fall down. Being forced by their respective modes of nature, the rishis, as above mentioned, cannot enter into the transcendental world like Narada. This fact is disclosed in the Nrsimha Purana. Rishis like Marichi are authorities in fruitive work, and rishis like Sanaka and Sanatana are authorities in philosophical speculations. But Sri Narada Muni is the prime authority for transcendental devotional service of the Lord. All the great authorities in devotional service of the Lord follow in the footsteps of Narada Muni in the order of the Narada Bhakti Sutra. And therefore all the devotees of the Lord are unhesitatingly qualified to enter the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 32. Deva Dattam Imam Beenam Swara Brahma Vibhushitam Murchayitva Harikatam Gayamanas Charamayaham. Deva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Dattam, gifted by. Imam, this. Vinam, a musical stringed instrument. Swara, singing meter. Brahma, transcendental. Vibhushitam, decorated with. Murachayitva, vibrating. Harikatam, transcendental message. Mana, singing constantly. Charami, do move. Aham, I. Translation.
I could read it backwards. And thus I travel constantly singing the transcendental message of the glories of the Lord. What is this? Instrument called Diya, which is charged with transcendental sound, and which was given to me by the Lord. Me by Lord Krishna.
Purport. The musical stringed instrument called the veena, which was handed to Narada by Lord Sri Krishna, is described in the Linga Purana. And this is confirmed by Srila Jiva Goswami. This transcendental instrument is identical with Lord Sri Krishna and Narada because all of them are of the same transcendental category. Sound vibrated by the instrument cannot be material, and therefore the glories and pastimes which are broadcast by the instrument of Narada are also transcendental, without a tinge of material inebriety. The 7 singing meters, namely Sa, Sa, Saja, Srasba, Ga, Gandhara, Ma, Madhyama, Pa, Panchama, Da, Daivata, and Ni, Nishada are also transcendental and specifically meant for transcendental songs. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Sri Narada Deva is always fulfilling his obligation to the Lord for his gift for the instrument. And thus he is always engaged in singing his transcendental glories and is therefore infallible in his exalted position. Following in the footsteps of Srila Narada Muni, a self-realized soul in the material world would also properly use the sound meters, namely Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, etc., in the service of the Lord by constantly singing the glories of the Lord as confirmed.
My turn. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 33. Pragayata svaviran viryani tiyata pada priya shrava ahuta iva me sigram darshanam yati chetasi pragyat pragayata. Thus singing svaviryani, own activities, tirti pada. The Lord, whose lotus feet are the source of all virtues are holiness. Priya Shrava, pleasing to hear. Ahuta, called for. Eva, just like me, to me. Shigram, very soon. Darshanam, sight. Yati, appears. Chetasi, on the seat of the heart. Translation. Translation. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whose glories are activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of my heart as if called for, as soon as I began to chant his holy activities. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The absolute personality of Godhead is not different from His transcendental name, form, pastimes, and the sound vibrations thereof. As soon as a pure devotee engages himself in the pure devotional service of the hearing, chanting, and remembering the name, fame, and activities of the Lord, at once he becomes visible to the transcendental eyes of the pure devotee by reflecting himself on the mirror of the heart by spiritual television. Therefore, pure devotee who is related with the Lord in loving transcendental service can experience the presence of the Lord at every moment. It is a natural psychology in every individual case that a person likes to hear and enjoy his personal glories enumerated by others. That is a natural instinct, and the Lord, being also an individual personality like others, is not an exception to this psychology, because psychological characteristics visible in the individual souls are but reflections of the same psychology in the absolute Lord. The only difference is that the Lord is the greatest personality of all and absolute in all his affairs. And if therefore the Lord is attracted by the pure devotee chanting of his glories, there is nothing astonishing. Since he is the absolute, he can appear himself in the picture of his glories. Glorification. The two things being identical, Srila Narada chants the glorification of the Lord, not for his personal benefit, but because the glorifications are identical with the Lord. Narada Muni penetrates into the presence of the Lord by the transcendental chanting.
No, you're not. Etaddi atura chittanam matra sparshe chayamuhu bhava sindhu plavo drusto haricharyanu varnanam. Eta, this, he, certainly, atura chittanam, of those whose minds are always full of cares and anxieties. Matra, objects of sense enjoyment. Sparsha, senses. Ichaya, by desires. Muhu, always. Bhavasindhu, the ocean of nescience. Plava, boat. Drishta, experienced. Haricharya, activities of Hari, the personality of Godhead. Anuvarnanam, constant recitation. Translation. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat, the constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The symptom of a living being is that he cannot remain silent even for some time. He must be doing something, thinking of something, or talking about something. Generally, the materialistic men think and discuss about subjects which satisfy their senses. But as these things are exercised under the influence of the external illusory energy, such sensual activities do not actually give them any satisfaction. On the contrary, they become full with cares and anxieties. This is called Maya, or what is not. That which cannot give them satisfaction is accepted as an object for satisfaction. So Narada Muni, by his personal experience, says that satisfaction for such frustrated beings engaged in sense gratification is to chant always the activities of the Lord. The point is that the subject matter only should be changed. No one can check the thinking activities of a living being, nor the feeling, willing, or working processes. But if one wants actual happiness, one must change the subject matter only. Instead of talking of the politics of a dying man, one might discuss the politics administered by the Lord Himself. Instead of relishing activities of the cinema artists, one can turn his attention to the activities of the Lord with his external associates like the gopis and Lakshmis. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, by His causeless mercy, descends to the earth and manifests activities almost on the line of the worldly men, but at the same time extraordinarily, because He is Almighty. He does so for the benefit of all conditioned soul, so that they can turn their attention to transcendence. By doing so, the conditioned soul will gradually be promoted to the transcendental position and easily cross the ocean of nescience, the source of all miseries. This is stated from personal experience by such an authority as Sri Narada Muni. And we can have the same experience also if we begin to follow in the footsteps of the great sage, the dearmost devotee of the Lord. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
We'll start tomorrow.
Today we read up to Srimad Bhagavatam 1.6.34. We will continue reading tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We start Guru Puja now.
We start Guru Puja now.
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bandamui Sabadhana Mate. Jahara prasade bhai e bhavaturiya jai. Jahara prasade bhai e bhavaturiya jai. Krishna prapti ho jaha hote. Guru Mukha Padma Vakhya Chite Te Koriya Kya. Guru Mukha Padma Vakhya Chite Te Koriya Kya. Harana Kori Ho Mane Asa. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asa. चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से,
चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से,
दिव्य गान हृदय प्रकाशितो,
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो,
प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते,
प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते,
वेदे गाय जहाँ रचरितो,
वेदे गाय जहाँ रचरितो,
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु सायमानन बंधु,
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदामा जे नारा बंधु,
लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना,
लोकना लोकेरा जीवाना,
प्रभु कुरु दया देहो मोरे पद छाया,
प्रभु गुरु दया देह मोरे पादा जाय,
ए बेजास गुसुप्री भुवाना,
देजास गुसुप्री भुवाना, शीला
प्रभु पाद पतित पवाना,
प्रभु पाद पतित पवाना, जय
प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा,
जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय
Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
जय
गुरुदेवा
जय गुरुदेवा
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा,
Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले, श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने,
Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सतारिणे,
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesya Sunyavadi Pashatyadi Shatarine
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
सादि गौर
भक्त वृंद,
जय श्री
Krishna Chaitanya Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda
Hare
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From his ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Lokanatha Goswami, O master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of our lotus feet, of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Ki Jai.